information so clients have the information they need before making important decisions. From there, we work closely with clients to ensure they are choosing the most efficient and cost-effective plans for their specific needs. Schedule a free consultation today at schromenlaw.com. That's SCHROMEN law.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for sunny skies today with a high near 82. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 68. And Wednesday, chance for thunderstorms with a high around 83. Looking for a cozy neighborhood bar and restaurant in Minneapolis? Nightingale serves delicious American classics like their famous Nightingale Burger, ginger tamari chicken wings, and more. Open daily 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. with takeout available. Visit nightingalempls.com for details.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome to The Gailey Show, the only daily LGBTQ radio news and talk show in America. I am your host, John Parker. In studio with me today is my executive producer, Jim Pounds.
Hey, all.
If you are... Well, actually, I'm going to skip that right now because I don't want to get to that phone number because you'll need it in a second here. What is on the show today? Tammye Nash, managing editor of the Dallas Voice, will join us in the second half hour of the show. We're going to be talking about the latest and what is happening as the Democrats have denied MAGA quorum, so they can't pass new legislative maps that will get rid of all of the Democratic districts in Texas, effectively rigging the 2026 election. Before that, though, Minneapolis is about to be taken over by Jessica Lahore, who will be performing all across the Twin Cities, August 8th through the 10th at the Gay 90s, Union Rooftop, and Mall of America. But up first, very quickly, greased back hair, leather jackets, ponytails, and poodle skirts, fast cars, and rock and roll. Grease is back at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. I have I've got one pair left of tickets to give away. Experience the nostalgia of high school in the 50s, peer pressure, love, and teenage life set against the campy backdrop of Rydell High. The phone number, first caller gets this pair of tickets, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. The show runs through October 4th, and you get to choose the date that you will get to go. 952-946-6205. All right. From being named Best New Drag Queen on the Scene to Colorado's Drag Entertainer of the Year, Jessica Lahore has founded a drag empire. As a drag queen, she is sex positive and body positive MC and revels in having her audiences feeling so much better about themselves after one of her shows. Jessica is a proud drag mother to Talia Tucker Lahore, Foxy Lahore, and Sasseline Bluechild. On Instagram and TikTok, you can watch her very popular as a drag queen videos where folks come ask and ask her literally anything from which way does she prefer her toilet paper rolls to hang on a Christian prayer in a pro-LGBTQ way. You can also watch her D-Drag with Jessica videos as she shares her thoughts on so many topics while taking off the glamour. A philanthropist, Jessica has supported and used her platform to elevate 12 organizations supporting the LGBTQ community, and she just celebrated her 12th year as a queen, the queen. Zachary Sullivan is a model, actor, voiceover artist, and brand ambassador. They are the performer of Jessica Lahore. They identify as a trans, non-binary, gender-fluid, queer human. Zachary is also a psoriasis proud model, opening a space for folks with skin conditions to see proud representation. Zachary first performed as Jessica Lahore in Fort Collins, Colorado at the Colorado State University Drag Show in 2013, where performing once a semester has transformed into performing 6 nights a week. Zachary, welcome to The Gailey Show.
What an introduction. I feel like you know me better than me. You started listing stuff. I was like, oh, I did do that. Oh my gosh, that is part of my life. You know more about me than I remember about me. Thank you for having me in that great introduction.
We do our research here at The Gailey Show. All right. All right. So please, Miss Jessica is going to take over Minneapolis, going to all the places this weekend, starting with Revamped, which will be at the Gay 90s on Friday night. Zachary, tell us, what is Revamped and what can folks expect?
Yeah, I'm really excited. This is going to be more of an alternative punk kind of edgy show on Friday night. That is the pre-show to the later show. There's a secondary show later at night that has one of their rotating casts and some of the local artists in the evening. But it should be punk. It should be a little bit alternative. It should be a little bit edgy. It should be a little bit more emotional. You might see some glitz and glam, but who knows what other shocks you are going to experience. That's Friday night.
Love shocks. And then, okay, on Saturday, there are going to be 3 Taylor Swift Reputation flip phone brunches at the Union Rooftop in downtown Minneapolis. Tell us about those.
Yeah, so I'm actually coming out initially to work with Flip Phone Events, which is an amazing drag company that is stand up all over the country. They have a Denver location now, and so I'm coming out to experience the Minneapolis location. Saturday, all Reputation songs from Taylor Swift. So if you are a Swiftie, this is the brunch for you. You got 3 chances to sing your Swiftie heart out. And then Sunday, you've got 2 of those brunches, also with Flip Phone Events, but all show tunes, Broadway, Disney, things like that to make you feel good and sing along.
Wow. Have you been to Minneapolis before?
I have. I got to perform in Minneapolis twice before COVID, and I was scheduled once during the month of COVID, and that didn't get to happen. So it's been quite a few years since I've gone and visited, but I'm really excited about it.
Well, I don't know if you've been to the Union Rooftop, but I love the Union Rooftop. It is so...
Not yet. So many videos I've seen. Everybody. I've seen so many videos from those shows, and they look amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And then, as if 3 brunches wasn't enough, you're off to Jessica will be off to the Mall of America for Ask a Queen tour. So I love these videos because Jessica's standing there and people just randomly come up and ask all of these completely random questions. So is Jessica going to be like walking along the Mall of America, or is there going to be like a specific spot?
Yeah, so every single location is a little bit tricky when we get there. For example, I was just in Times Square last night, and so one of the requirements in Times Square, New York, was that you can't set up like a tripod down in Times Square. It's considered furniture, and so we have to hold the poster board and we stand in place. So depending on what like rules look like for Mall of America, the idea is to go whether we're allowed inside or outside of the building to set up our little get up and a main area for people to stop and ask questions. But my suggestion for anyone coming to do this with me, follow me on the socials, because we'll give you the location. We'll let you know when we're there, and you can find out where, so we're not just wandering and walking around with the poster. But every spot has its own loopholes and tricks that we have to get behind.
And Mall of America is, like a football field, so it would be easy to miss you if they don't, on 4 levels, where to find you.
I will have to tell you exactly where to go, and even then it'll take you 20 minutes to find me, I'm sure.
Right. That's right.
Well, on Instagram and TikTok, it's Jessica LWHOR. That's the handle there. Is that the handle on all the platforms?
Yeah, it's LWHOR. Jessica's the first name, no E. I always say I'm an illiterate whore, so make sure to go, and it's memorable that way. So no E. As much as you want to, no E. I'm the illiterate one.
Talk to us about the Ask a Drag Queen videos and tour. How did that come about? Because it is hysterical as I was scrolling through the TikTok videos.
Thanks. I love that you never know what to expect. This was a project about 2 years ago that we started, me and my marketing and production team, and we were brainstorming. It was post-Pride. We're like, what are we doing? What are our next things that we're going to start working on? Had kind of a weird idea where I was like, what if, because I'm inspired by a lot of the TikTok videos of give you $1, do you want to double it and pay it forward? And I was like, what if we did something like that in the drag world? That time, a lot of conversations are still coming out about the appropriateness of drag, what its meaning looks like to communities, how we can still be positive forces while still combating a lot of what the administration and people's views are. And this pretty much puts me right in their faces. So we did one in Denver down in Union Station, which is a huge high traffic area for people traveling in the middle of the day, and it took off. Videos went viral. People loved the series. So we did another one and then another one. Now we do 1 to 2 a month for the last 2 years. It's grown so much traction. My following has increased so much from these videos. So many people resonate with these videos because the questions range from drag questions to personal life, how do I get through my own struggles questions, to the most ridiculous, random, and inappropriate things. And nothing's off limits with me as long as you're a kind person behind it. But
Right.
this tour came up as a way. I get so many comments on my posts and on my lives about how can we come see you? I want to do this. I wish I was closer to you. So I said, all right, let's do it. 15 cities in the month of August. Let's go bring my Ask a Queen series to places, iconic places all around the country. So Mall of America, the White House, Times Square, Hollywood Boulevard, Dollywood. These are places that we're going for this tour. And so I'm really stoked to see the different responses, the different demographics of people, and the different types of questions and interactions that I'm going to get in non-predominantly queer spaces.
Right.
Wait, so when were you outside the White House?
I'm going to be in the White House on the 31st of August. I haven't gotten, so Minneapolis will be my 4th stop. So far we've done Times Square, and I did downtown Sun Valley, Idaho as my first stop. So downtown Sun Valley, Idaho, Times Square. I've got one Denver stop, which is tomorrow. We're going to the Buell Theater outside of Moulin Rouge. And then I'm in Minneapolis for Mall of America. And so that each one, we'll do 15 of those this month.
Wow. I can't wait to see the videos from outside the White House.
I know. It's all dependent on traffic. So if I go out there and it's just me and just a slow day and nobody shows up, I'm asking myself a question. Which I do regularly. It's not on camera.
Now, when you literally will answer any question, right?
Yeah, there's nothing off limits. I'm all about intent. And even if that person came with negative intent, the purpose of this experiment is to hear what could be a negative or inappropriate or what others would consider a disrespectful question, and in a way separate out what was asked in the way it was asked and talk about the focus of the point of that question. I'm already prepared if people were to come to me and ask wildly inappropriate or derogatory or straightforward things, and my point wouldn't be to embarrass them on video, it would be to have a conversation with them on video. That's the point of this project. Not to get mad, not to get angry, but how do I talk to you? How do I answer your question in a way that isn't the way that you thought that I would answer it?
Love
That's
it.
great.
I know, right? It's just what we need for this moment that we're in. It's
all consensual. So people do come up to me. I'm not forcing this upon people, which I think is a big misconception. We have a lot of videos with kids and their parents are in the shots, but it's all their curiosity. I just stand there and offer them a treat for talking to me.
I mean, you're not Billy Eichner. You're not chasing people down.
That part with a microphone saying, "I'm a drag queen. Do you like me? You like me? You're wrong. Here's $1." No, so
start doing drag trivia.
Yeah, can you imagine? Everyone would fail.
We are talking with model, actor, voiceover artist, and brand ambassador Zachary Sullivan, who performs as Jessica Lahore, who is taking over Minneapolis this weekend with events at the Gay 90s, Union Rooftop, Mall of America, and Crave American Kitchen and Sushi. I have more questions. I've got to fit in a break, though. So I've been told I can't keep asking huge questions and then run off to a break. So we're going to come back with Zachary just in a very quick break. You are listening to The Gaily Show on AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and WCPT 820 Chicago's Progressive Talk. Check out more progressive news and analysis at am950radio.com and heartlandsignal.com. You can also check us out at Blue Sky. We're at thegailyshow.org on Blue Sky. Hello to all of our recent followers. More after the break.
The place for live music is the Park Tavern. Park Tavern has delicious food and great bowling, and now the Park Tavern's dog-friendly patio is open and waiting for you. And make sure you catch the live music on the patio. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights from 5:30 to 8 p.m., live music awaits you with the Park Tavern's full menu available. Reservations for groups of 8 or more are recommended. And the Park Tavern offers private and semi-private spaces for small and large groups with no room fees and no minimum spending requirements. On Louisiana Avenue, north of Highway 7 in St. Louis Park, live music and outdoor fun are back at the Park Tavern.
Hey, this is Patrick for Zero Rest. Did you know that August is Pet Appreciation Month? Zero Rest is safe for all pets with no harsh soaps or chemicals in their cleaning products. If you have a pet like I do, you know they like to leave little bits of themselves around the house, whether that's fur or dander or worse, and you should call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to get things back in shape in your house. Carpet, tile, hardwood, rugs, upholstery, air ducts, every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. If you haven't tried out Zero Res or it's been months since your last deep clean, then now is the time to call. Right now you can get your entire home Zero Resified from Minnesota's ultimate carpet cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $149. Take 15% off pet odor treatments and 50% off an air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment today at ZeroResMinnesota.com or call 9520-RES and ask for the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. We have families waiting for a car. You know, over 85% of unemployed are successful in finding and keeping a job if they have dependable transportation. A car plus a job equals a life changed. 612-919-5526. We have families waiting for a car. 919-5526 or autotech.org.
Hi, I'm Peter Solak.
And I'm Adam Ostrowski.
We are here at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces to talk about the joy of live fire cooking. Cooking over a live fire is the oldest and most basic form of cooking.
What's new is in the way fire is handled and its heat is managed.
It's easier to experience and enjoy the smell and taste of food cooked over a live fire.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces sells and installs live fire grills, fire pits, and ovens. Let us help you experience the smell, the taste, the fun of cooking with fire.
Pizza was first made and is still best made in an open fire oven. The radiant and conductive heat of a live fire is unmatched for wood roasting and baking artisan breads too.
Come see the many ways you can cook over a live fire.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces has over 35 working wood and gas units on display at the corner of East Franklin and Riverside Avenue in Minneapolis. More information at woodlandstoves.com. Find the fire that works for you. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
Welcome back to the Gailey Show. I'm John Parker. We're coming up on the bottom of the hour. Jessica Lahore is taking over Minneapolis this weekend with events at the Gay 90s, Union Rooftop, Mall of America, and Crave American Kitchen and Sushi Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Zachary Sullivan, model, actor, voiceover artist, and brand ambassador who performs as Jessica, is here with us. Zachary, something I also love of the videos is the D-drag videos that Jessica does, which is so I've seen videos of like folks putting on and getting ready to go perform, but I love this idea. You're very vulnerable in there as well when you're taking the glamour off and you're just answering these questions and just sharing, you know, your thoughts on a variety of topics. Talk to us about how those got started and what you cover in these videos.
You know, I really am happy that you're asking about these videos. I don't get a lot of questions about my D-Drag series. I started this a year ago. I was going through a very struggling mental place of finding the identity of Zach within Jessica and allowing people to connect as an influencer that I wanted to be. I'm most inspired by the influencers that are passionate in their art, their craft, are very much experts in what they do, but offer a little bit of humility and vulnerability and behind the scenes as to how you get to love that persona and that artist. The D-Drag videos started simply because I was in a headspace that said, as much as I'm in weekly therapy, I need people to know that there's a human underneath the makeup. Drag artists are in a fishbowl mentality is what I call. It's kind of like you're looking into what looks like this beautiful creature in a perfect life with makeup and performances. And honestly, that's just not how it works. So I forced myself to do these D-Drag videos on an arrangement of topics from what am I feeling that day? How did the weekend go? Different artists that I'm inspired by, different stories and childhood memories. Maybe it's a topic that one of my followers submitted, and anywhere from 3 minutes to 15 minutes, I will take off my makeup one side at a time so you can really see the transformation. And I talk to you kind of like we're on a FaceTime call. I want to make sure that it's personal, it's conversational, and maybe everything I'm saying isn't going to resonate with you. And maybe everything, even if it's all chaotic and twisted and all around, is going to resonate with you more than you ever thought that it would. Somebody sees you, that there's visibility, and people get to know a little bit more about my heart and my soul behind the makeup and the artistry.
They're very raw. They're very honest, and I really enjoyed watching them. And so I hope that those continue, because they're just it's so nice, Zachary, to see you and Jessica putting yourselves out there, right, in that way, and to see that, particularly at a time that we're living in right now. It's just it's fantastic. Oh, I have to ask, for our listeners in Chicago, do you have any Chicago dates coming up soon?
I do. I'll be in Chicago on August 22nd. I'm going to be finishing a documentary in the morning and then doing Ask a Queen in the afternoon in Boys Town. And then in the evening, I'll be performing at Roscoe's for their Friday Night Lights show with the cast.
Nice. Fantastic. So we do a lot of coverage of books and book bans on this particular show, and you have like an entire empire happening, not just in Colorado now, but like, nationwide. Have you been involved in any of the story hours?
Story hours have been so prominent in Colorado. I have not had the opportunity to travel to do story times, but Miss Jessica, which is my all ages and HR friendly drag name, is something that I have done my entire career, but really owned in on in 2018. Since then, Miss Jessica became a whole subcategory of Jessica Lahore, allowing all ages, family-friendly audiences that really focus on the community and the art-based pieces and representation for queer people. I do maybe one story time a month, on popular months, two to four in various cities around the state.
And tell us about those audiences with the kids.
Yep. Anywhere from little babies with their family to teenagers, and even some adults that come and sit in a circle in front of me while I read 5 to 10 of my favorite stories. The stories range from all values of how do you love yourself? How do you not bully other people? How do you become a better person? It's okay to look different and feel different and still be yourself. How to not hide yourself internally and to just accept other people for who they are. And that allows you to accept yourself. These are all generalized topics that, whether you're queer or not, any basic human should listen to and absorb these rules and morals.
Not to put you on the spot, do you have the titles of some of those stories that folks can go and check out?
Oh my gosh, I wish I had. I just moved all of my books from this corner, but I have. Oh my gosh, now you're gonna put me on the spot. I
totally
have.
Put you on the spot, because I hate when people do that to me.
Yeah, oh gosh, a Schnauzer in a sweater vest is one of my favorites. I have. My shadow is purple. I have. Oh my gosh, Marlon Brando goes to the White House. My Princess Boy is another one. The Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, the hips on the drag queen go swish swish swish. Yeah, those are some of them.
That's pretty good memory. Just that.
I know,
right? Wow.
So talk to me about, you perform. I even saw on your calendar that you're going to be in Minneapolis on Sunday morning and then in Tennessee by Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So how do you do this? Do you have like a teleportation device? Like, you are always performing in like all across the country.
If I had a nickel for everyone that asked me that question in my life, I am somebody that will utilize time appropriately to the best of their ability. So I finish with brunch probably between 3 and 4 p.m. and I get on a plane around 7 p.m. I'll land in Nashville around 8:30, 9 p.m. And then I go straight to the bar to do my Ask a Queen outside of Play Bar in Nashville, to do a quick turnaround to get into Dolly drag, because I'm going to do Dollywood the next day.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I go to Houston on Tuesday and San Diego on Wednesday.
Do you have a production manager that kind of, how much of all of this is on you? Wow.
I am my own management. I plan all of my travel, all of my show schedule stuff. I do have a social media manager that we coordinate with. I have a producer for my filming and content and editing, and I have a publicist that helps get connected with opportunities like this, as well as so many other people on Team Lahore, as we call it. But I manage and do all of the back end financing, scheduling, organizing, and relationship building for my schedule and business.
You are amazing on
Thank you.
On that level alone.
So I'm proud of the schedule that I work. I love what I do, which makes it way easier, but I push my limits, and I'm really thankful to have a team that kind of sits with those limits with me.
Why do you think that is?
I think they believe in me. I think that's a huge piece, is that they
I mean about you doing your limits. That's a that's a lot to be putting yourself out there for.
I figure And I get this all the time, especially when people try to carry like my bags for me. They always want to help me, and I am insistent. If you know anything about me, I will carry my own stuff. I will manage my own stuff to the best of my ability and ask for help when I need to. One day, I'm going to need to ask all of these people to help carry a bag. One of these days, I'm not going to be able to do 2 cities back to back. One of these days, I'm only going to be able to do one number, and I'm not physically or mentally or just able to do what I'm able to do now. I'm in the best mental place, physical shape of my life, the most focused I've ever been. And so I'm going to push these boundaries as far as I can while still being mindful of my health and mindful of my mental and physical health until I can't do it.
Well, thank you, Zachary. You can find everything at jessicalwhor.com, also on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you very much, Zachary. We'll see you this weekend.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Minnesota. This is Tom Hartman, and you can catch me every week.
Oh, there, we can talk. Still on hot mics. So thank you, Zachary.
Thank you.
This has been very, very lovely. I hope it all goes very well.
I appreciate it. It was a wonderful time. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Bye. Tammye Nash.
Hello, y'all.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you well. Okay, looks like we've got how much time left? We got about 2 minutes left in this break. So I imagine the legislature and the maps will occupy a lot of our time today.
There's a lot going on. And like I said, kind of a benefit of them breaking quorum and leaving is that they can't do anything with this bathroom bill either. So that's, and all the nasty abortion stuff they were trying to pass.
Yeah. Okay.
You're right at the center of the storm.
I
that's
know,
for sure.
right? We're really grateful to have you here today. We've got 2 minutes left, so we have to switch back over to the feed. If you in the chat, I'll include the time cues.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Tammye.
Mm-hmm.
So another one. We just opened in Medina, Minnesota. But the big question is that why do people come to Wellshire? Many of the people coming to Wellshire are coming from other memory care communities where they maybe haven't received bathing. They've had problems taking medication or inconsistency with staffing. Wellshire has never used a temporary staff. We always have our own people, and it's those people that make the difference. We have always felt it's so important to have 24-hour nursing in the building. The other thing is you have to have an amazing activity team. Nobody employs more activity people than Wellshire. Our activities begin in the morning, go all the way through the evening, 7 days a week. So if you have a loved one that needs memory care, come visit wellshiremn.com and book a tour today.
Hey, Francois, what are you packing for?
Salut, Laura. J'irai en tournée avec le truck de Nicolette's Macaron.
You're going on tour with Nicolette's Macaron truck.
Oui, je suis un groupie.
Oh, you're definitely a groupie. What are your stops?
Le Loring Park Arts Festival le 26 juillet et puis le State Fair.
The Loring Park Art Festival on July 26 and then the Minnesota State Fair. Well, bon voyage, Francois.
Et bon appétit, Laura.
More information at nicoletsmacarons.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for sunny skies today with a high near 82. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 68. And Wednesday, chance for thunderstorms with a high around 83. Looking for a cozy neighborhood bar and restaurant in Minneapolis? Nightingale serves delicious American classics like their famous Nightingale Burger, ginger tamari chicken wings, and more. Open daily 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. with takeout available. Visit nightingalempls.com for details.
AM 950 KTN up, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Coming to you from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPT 820 Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome to the Gaily Show, the only daily LGBTQ radio news and talk show in the country. I am your host, John Parker. Jim Pounds, my executive producer, is in the studio with me. Programming note, real quick, before we start this next segment. Jim and I are headed to Iceland tonight to cover Reykjavik Pride. And so you'll see us live tomorrow. You'll hear from us if you're on the radio. If you're on YouTube, you'll see us. We'll be here for the first segment of the show tomorrow, and then we'll be doing some reportage, if you will, and we'll bring that back with us when we get back next week. We're very excited to see that Pride because it is the largest festival of all the festivals in Iceland. Pride is the biggest one. So we're very much looking forward to bringing you that coverage. Dallas Voice just started its 42nd year as the voice of the LGBTQ community in North Texas and beyond. Visit their website at dallasvoice.com and their social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky for their award-winning journalism. Tammye Nash has worked as a professional journalist, spending more than 30 of those years as a writer and editor for Dallas Voice, the LGBTQ media source for North Texas. In her spare time, she takes photos mainly of birds and flowers and the dog. We're very lucky to have Tammye join us bi-weekly. Tammye, hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all doing this week?
Super chill time happening in Texas. I mean, what are you all doing? What are you keeping your time?
Oh my Lord. Well, just in general, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, but just in general right now, everybody's focused on the Democrats in the Texas House breaking quorum by leaving the state. Yeah. It's because of the way, let's just be frank, because of the way the Republicans have managed to maintain power by gerrymandering, state legislative districts. They're able to just kind of push through whatever they want when it comes down to these party policy things that have been handed down from on high. So really the only way the Texas Democrats have to fight back is to break quorum, and they do that by leaving the state, not showing up. I mean, they could just stay home and lock the door and not go, and they'd be breaking quorum, but when they leave the state, it provides some protection that you don't have if they were. Of course, the whole thing started because Greg Abbott was going to call a special session, and then it was all about. Everybody knew it was going to be about redistricting, but then the floods happened in Central Texas, and we're having a special session so we can deal with this, so we can find ways to provide flood relief, safety measures, precautions, things, alert systems, all this stuff, which money for that had been allocated but then was vetoed some time back. I don't know all the specifics of that, but it happened. And it's going to be all about the flood. And everybody's okay, that's an important thing to do. Yeah. But then it's like, okay, we're so sorry for the people who've had the flood problems, but we're going to do this. And there was a bathroom bill. There's some anti-abortion crap, like we don't already have the worst, abortion bills around. And then this redistricting. And me and old Greg Abbott, we're not real good buddies or anything, but I read that he was reluctant, that the whole idea of redistricting had been, floating around for a while, mid-decade. We usually redistrict at the end of the decade after the census, right? It's like, okay, we've got all these new numbers. Yep. We're going to make new districts. We're going to make sure everything's fair. So, but now it's like the middle of the decade, halfway through, and he's like, okay, we're gonna do this. At first he said he was kind of iffy, but then he got a call from Donald Trump and said, I need you to get me 5 more Republican seats out of Texas. And to do that, they are just these maps. I've not seen them, but from hearing about them, they're atrocious. We have Julie Johnson is the first openly LGBTQ person elected from a southern state to Congress, right?
Yeah.
Well, her district is kind of the north side of DFW. Somebody told me that the new maps have her district going from up here north of DFW down east and south to Tyler, which is like 2 hours away.
So there would still be a Democratic district.
No.
Oh,
No.
See, that's my understanding of that, is that they're going to do it basically to get rid of every single Democratic district.
They're trying.
Yeah.
They are definitely trying. And well, I don't know every single one. There's certain ones that they're targeting that they feel like they can change. And the district that Julie represents was Colin Allred's district before.
Okay.
And Colin had flipped that after, I don't know what happened, but he had flipped that from red to blue. It was kind of a borderline. He flipped it, and then Julie came in, and he had it for 2 or 3 terms, and then Julie came in and won it because he stepped down to run for Senate. Unfortunately, did not win. But so that's one. Jasmine Crockett, y'all know Jasmine Crockett. I mean, she has a very racially diverse district. There's a lot of black and brown folk in her district. There's a lot of gay people in her district. I believe she actually lives in Oak Lawn. I know that her district office is like 2 floors up from mine at the Dallas Voice office. Hers is upstairs from us. And they're targeting her, of course. I mean, for them, getting Jasmine out would be such a relief because she holds her feet to the fire. She don't play.
Yep.
So, but that's where we stand. They have gone that, from my understanding, they're lawmakers in Chicago, they're lawmakers in New York, and there was one other city, and I can't remember what that other one was, but they're out of state. Something like 55 of them are out of state.
Well, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has been putting them up in his hotels. So it's
exactly. That's what he has. Yeah, that was one of the things that he, and I believe the governor in New York is being very supportive. I'm not going to try to say her name because I think I'll probably get it wrong. Hochul. There you go. See, I would have said it wrong. But she, I believe she's helping, and whomever, wow, where is that third town? City? I can't remember.
I'm
they're all
curious
helping.
On the ground there. So Trump makes a call, just like he did to Georgia. When Georgia, he was like, find me 11,000 votes. And now he's like, get me 5 new districts. What on the ground has been the reaction from Texans to this ask?
Okay, I'm trying to be really cognizant of my language here. Y'all don't get in trouble. But basically, it's a big middle finger.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the people. I mean, they've had hearings, and it's just overwhelmingly against the whole idea of redistricting at all, much less redistricting for this purpose and by these maps. And the maps, they say the maps they have drawn are just, they're targeting minority districts, and they're just ridiculous. I mean, looks like you gave a 2-year-old a crayon and a big sheet of paper to go for it. That's what it looks like. So,
is it because we know the Supreme Court will uphold the map, whatever map that they come through with? Because it looks like they're gunning rather for the Voting Rights Act completely in a case they took up for their next term. How would you've been covering the state from the Dallas Voice for a number of years now. Do you feel, I think we're always looking for the tipping point of what's going to make a Republican finally vote for a Democrat, but do you see a power grab like this having an influence in who people are voting for in their state legislature?
I think, golly, that's a hard question. Because I think it will. I think it should.
Yeah.
But, when the boots hit the ground, what is going to happen? Who knows? I mean, well, it's anybody's guess. But I have seen, going online watching these videos and like Jasmine Crockett has a video. There's a video of Jasmine Crockett in Austin, because they're not after the federal people aren't breaking congressional people. It's not them breaking it's the state people breaking quorum. So Jasmine has been there with a huge crowd of people from her district in Austin all day yesterday. There's video, and she's a firecracker. She's whatever. She don't even care what your rules say about the language. She's gonna say what she's gonna say, right?
Yep.
And bless her for that. We have one of the openly LGBTQ legislators in the Texas House. Her name is Jolanda Jones. She's from the Houston area. There's also video of her on YouTube. It's Jolanda Jones. You can look it up. And she's reading the riot act from, I believe she's in New York. I don't know. I mean, there are people. I saw a video of this guy who says, I'm from East Texas and I'm a farmer going back. However, it's a white man, middle-aged white man, farmer in East Texas. And being an East Texan, I can tell you, you're not going to see many of these people, whether they think it or not, they're not going to say it out loud.
Right.
But, and a retired fireman, and then he launches into this whole thing about this is crap. You guys, this is crap. Y'all are wrong. And he doesn't say it this way, but he says basically you're disenfranchising tons and tons of people of color. And you're wrong. Y'all are wrong for that. So.
Well, there's nearly 5 million people that voted, not for Donald Trump, right, in the state of Texas in 2024. And if you literally take out their ability to be represented at all, that's pretty un-American, no matter what you believe. So I could see a lot of people getting very angry, like you're saying.
Yeah. Well, we're talking with Tammye Nash, managing editor for the Dallas Voice. I'm just curious how Texans are going to respond when every single Democratic district in their state is eliminated through these maps, or maybe they leave a token one just to be like, hey, look, we left one there for the Democrats.
Oh, look, they're all the Democrat, every Democrat in Texas, which is like the second largest state. From El Paso to Tyler are all in one district because they've made
in my mind, I'm seeing this little loop-de-doop district there. It's so authoritarian. Clearly, this is the stuff you see from Hungary. This is the stuff that you see from, Putin and Russia. Like, this is, I'll be curious. I mean, even at, like what Michigan did, where my dad's family lived in Michigan, and they were gerrymandered into oblivion. And finally, they were able to get a nonpartisan commission passed that completely redid the legislative maps. I mean, maybe they won't redo, maybe Republicans won't vote for Democrats, but maybe they would vote for a nonpartisan commission that would actually look at the maps more equitably, which would be so transformative to Texas.
Yeah.
There's just so much going on with it right now. If they do this, if they manage to force these maps through, this redistricting through, and if they don't get it this time, I mean, our special session is, I think, limited to 30 days. There is a time limit. Anything that's not done at the end of it expires. Too bad. Of course, if he doesn't get his way, Greg Abbott will do what he's done before and just call people back for 9 million times.
Right.
But when they manage to push these maps through, then it will immediately be challenged in court. And when the Republicans want to challenge something in court, like when Ken Paxton wants to, wants his way with something, they know which specific judge to go to.
Yeah,
take it to this court. He's gonna not the Court of Appeals, but they have a district court that they can always go to. That's, I think, a Trump appointee, and you could go in there and have a lawsuit over whether or not sky is blue and grass is green, and he would say, well, no, that's just how you perceive it, but so he could rule for the Republicans. We
are talking with Tammye Nash, managing editor for the Dallas Voice. We've got a break that I've got to fit in here. We're going to have more with Tammye. You are listening to The Gailey Show on AM 950, KTNF, and WCPT, 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of all time, Grease. You'll hear all your favorite hits from the Broadway musical and the movie. Join the whole gang at Rydell High. We'll sing, we'll dance, we'll bring you back to high school life in the 50s. Poodle skirts, bobby socks, the soda shop, and drive-in movies. Grease, it'll rock your socks off. Order your tickets today. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Hey, it's Tom. There's a war being waged on clean energy. A bill in Congress could eliminate the 30% federal tax credit for solar by the end of 2025. And once it's gone, it may never come back. Fossil fuel giants and their MAGA friends in Washington want to kill green energy. But you can fight back. Going solar with all energy solar isn't just smart, it's a form of resistance. You choose where your money goes, not to utility companies, not to fossil fuel billionaires, but toward clean, renewable power for your home. A system for all energy solar works in Minnesota year-round because it runs on sunlight, not heat. So even in the dead of winter, you're generating electricity. And all energy solar helps you save with every rebate and incentive available. This is the moment to act. Waiting means risking with this tax credit and giving the upper hand to MAGA Republicans. So get your free consultation today at allenergysolar.com and take back your power.
This is Alex Knorr from Buzzcut Mowing, a young, hardworking entrepreneur serving the Southwest Metro with affordable lawn care. I take the hard work off your plate with weekly mowing. I also offer leaf cleanups, aeration, dethatching, tree trimming, and mulch installation. I'll keep your lawn beautiful so you can enjoy your weekends with the people who matter most. Visit buzzcutmowingmn.com. That's buzzcutmowingmn.com.
Hi, this is Frank Brown of Minuteman Press Uptown with a question for our listeners. How important are business values to you? When you need high-quality digital print, it matters who you work with. You see, Minuteman Uptown is unique. We're one of the only union print shops in Minnesota providing our team with living wages and benefits. We believe in second chances for justice-impacted individuals who want to contribute to the community, and we are active in local issues. We've been in the streets standing up for racial, social, and economic justice. At Minuteman Uptown, our mission is to connect all communities through technology-driven print solutions. An example of that mission is when I moved Minuteman Uptown to North Minneapolis. We're invested in this local community, and we help small businesses and local organizations throughout the Twin Cities reach their audiences. Reach out to Minuteman Uptown and partner with a printer that shares your values. Call us today at 612-870-0777 or visit us at mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com.
Welcome back to the Daily Show. We are coming up here on the top of the hour. Tammye Nash is the managing editor for the Dallas Voice. She joins us every other Tuesday. We're talking a lot about what's happening in Texas right now. The Democrats, I don't want to say fleeing, but taking a stand, leaving the state to deny quorum to the Texas legislature so they cannot pass these gerrymandered maps that would essentially rig the 2026 election. Tammye, the attorney general, who is an alleged criminal in his own right.
Very alleged, yes.
Very alleged. Most recently on where does he live? He has like 400 cousins. But he is now threatening to arrest these legislators rather, and declare they've vacated office. But what does that mean, and can he actually do that?
Okay, it's very convoluted. If they're within the boundaries of Texas, it's not a criminal arrest. He can't issue a criminal arrest warrant. What they've done is not a crime. That would be like a civil warrant forcing them to show up here, But the thing is, he would send Texas DPS troopers. Once they hit the state line, they can't do anything outside the state. And they're certainly not going to get, you could go through this whole extradition process. I don't know if you can actually extradite on a civil matter as opposed to a criminal. I think that's a criminal process anyway, but they're going to come up hard against, lawmakers, the governors and everything in these states where the Democrats are hiding out, or not hiding out. They're not hiding at all. Where they are staying, where they're staging their, their demonstration. And there's no way they're going to be able to just go and arrest them and forcibly bring them back. They just can't. It's irrelevant. But Abbott and Paxton are talking big. It's that red meat for the base voters who don't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do this. And, I love the fact that one of the things that Abbott said in an interview is Texans don't run. And then as soon as he said it, the memes started popping up. And one is a picture of, Ted Cruz in February 2021. Got his little Texas MAGA mask on, going to Cancun because, his daughter made him. That look, I will never forget the look on his face in that photo. That was so classic. So there's that. And then there was another one. It's like, hey, Ken Paxton, isn't this you? And it was a screenshot of reports from I can't even remember. Let me see. Did I write it down here? Paxton did the same thing.
When I hear that they're gonna, try to arrest them, I'm like,
no, that's when
are they gonna find Chuck Norris and deputize him and have Walker Texas Ranger go out and find them?
That's what they're expecting. Texas DPS. But anyway, in 2022, Ken Paxton was subpoenaed to appear in federal court the next day for a hearing related to a lawsuit filed by a nonprofit organization seeking to assist Texans in obtaining, because he's like demanding private health records from out-of-state entities, saying you violated Texas law. And again, they're like middle finger, but they were subpoenaing him. That's hard, to show up at this hearing. And so the process server goes to his house, one of many, knocks on the door, and when he sees what's going on, Ken basically literally runs, and he gets in the truck and he makes Angela, his wife, who's now leaving him for biblical reasons, drive him away. They're like running from this process server. So they're like, yeah. Anybody else see the disconnect there? Anyway, that's just, the memes are everywhere. You can find them online. It's hysterical. Now, he says, I wasn't running from that. This was just somebody who was threatening me. And
oh, yes, of course.
Yeah. But anyway.
But
beyond that, he's threatening to, they don't have the authority to arrest them. This is not a criminal matter.
Right.
Now he's saying that he's going to go to, if they're not all back there by Friday, the 18th, can't remember what their deadline is. Friday something. If they're not back there by this deadline that the House Speaker has set, Friday, August 8th, not the 18th. If they're not there ready to work by then he's going to go to the courts and he's going to have the courts declare that these guys have vacated their offices. Again, he can, they might get this one court ruling. It's not going to stand without challenge. But the thing is, his whole basis for this argument is a non-binding opinion that he himself issued back in 2021. It's like, and I'm not sure if y'all have non-binding opinions from y'all's attorney generals where y'all are, but man, it's like he just wrote up some crap and said, because I said so, and I'm the attorney general, and this is illegal, and this is my opinion. Yeah. That's what I believe the law says, and the law's like, no, girl.
No, girl. Exactly.
But it's all based on that. So there's no telling what they're actually going to be able to do, because you're talking about a state that is completely controlled by Republicans, and they will go to whichever judge they have to go to get the ruling they want. It's going to be, but even if they did that, this is my understanding. Even if they did that, I'm not an expert on these matters, but speaking based on information I've read from someone who is, okay, so sure, you get them all thrown out of office. You still don't have a quorum.
Right.
You can't do crap. You just shot yourself in your stupid foot because you don't have a quorum. You're not going to have a quorum. But, and of course, then Ken Paxton will want to come, or Abbott, come in and try and just appoint somebody to all these seats, these 55 seats. But, they're not going to, the whole idea is get this done before the 2026 midterms. And Democrats are like, we're going to do whatever we have to do.
Yeah, to stop it.
To stop it from that thing. But here's another thing to mention.
Unfortunately, we're at time today. It always goes so quickly, but thank you, Tammye, for joining us. Visit the website, dallasvoice.com, and their social media pages for all their award-winning journalism. Up next on WCPT 820 is Choose Views with Richard Chu. On AM 950, it's the Matt McNeil Show. Stay tuned after that for Native Roots Radio. And then at 10 p.m. Central, Step Into the Unknown with Greg Bakken on Ghostbox Radio. See you back here tomorrow where Jim and I will be live from Iceland. Until then, keep it queer, America.
Keep it queer.